Alright. Hello everyone. Kamusta? So, ang lecture natin ngayon tungkol to sa mortality salience. Let me share my slide. Ang title natin, Mortality Salience, One Day I Will Die. Sa Tagalog, isang araw, mamamatay din ako. Wow, grabe, no? Bakit ganyan yung title natin? As we go along, it would make sense. Itong lecture na to, ilalagay ko to under ng developmental psychology. Kasi itong mortality salience, under ito ng old age. For those of you who love DevPsych, no? Or may mga textbooks din na itong mortality salience after ito ng old age, under ito ng chapter sa death and bereavement. So nandyan lang yan, no? Either old age or death and bereavement. So under ito ng developmental psychology. Now, if you go to the scripture, specifically in the book of Psalms, meron ditong statement, very interesting, connected sa mortality salience. Ang sabi dito, so teach us to number our days, that we may present a heart of wisdom. Now, believe it or not, itong statement na to, it's making a psychological claim. Na kapag meron kang ginawa mentally, merong effect yon sa psychological outcome mo. Nasaan yon? In this passage, ito yon. Teach us to number our days. Yung words na number our days, yan yung mortality salience. Later on, as I go along, i-explain ko anong ibig sabihin ng mortality salience. Kapag ninanumber mo raw yung days mo, ang sabi dito sa scripture, merong magandang mangyayari sa'yo, you are going to have a heart of wisdom. Okay? So, explain ko na para mas maintindihan nyo yung mortality salience, which is to number your days. It means the degree or the frequency to which you think that one day you will die. Kaya nga ganun yung title natin kanina, One Day I Will Die, yan yung ibig sabihin ng mortality salience. Gaano mo kadalas iniisip na mamamatay ka, na ang buhay mo sa mundo temporary lang, na anytime pwede kang mawala, that any day pwedeng last day mo na sa mundo, yan yung overall mortality salience mo. And in the psychological literature, kayang-kaya nating sukatin to, marami mga instruments ang na-develop to measure a person's overall mortality salience. So going back to Psalms, yan yung naka-yellow na bilog. Numbering your days. Kapag pinapataas mo yung mortality salience mo, may magandang mangyayari sa'yo, you end up getting a heart of wisdom. Kaya nga from this passage, pwede tayong makabuo ng isang psychological hypothesis, which is this one, that being aware of one's mortality is good for mental health. Totoo kaya yan? Na kapag lagi mong iniisip na ang buhay mo dito temporary lang, anytime pwede kang mawala, maganda pa pala yun sa mental health. In the popular language, ito yung madalas na kasabihan na nababasa natin sa mga wallpapers, live each day as if it were your last. So tuwing gigising ka sa umaga, isipin mo lagi na yung araw mo na yon, last day mo na sa mundo. Kasi for all you know, baka totoo nga yan on that day. Kasi wala naman talaga tayong kasiguraduhan kung kailan mauubos yung oras natin here in this life. So kapag ganyan yung attitude mo, lagi mong iniisip, lagi kang open sa idea na pwede kang mamatay anytime, mataas ang mortality salience mo, ang claim nga in this hypothesis, maganda yan sa mental health. Now, before we dig deeper into this, let me just give you a very quick theory background kung saan ba nanggagaling yung mortality salience. Kasi itong mortality salience, galing ito sa larger theory na ang tawag is terror management theory. Ilan dito nakarinig na dyan? Terror management theory? Wala pa? So it's good na sinasabi ko to, no? Ang classic work dyan is this book. Basahin nyo to, The Worm at the Core. Ang sumulat niyan sila Sheldon Solomon, si Jeff Greenberg, at saka si Tom Piccinski. Ito yung mga big names of terror management theory. Meron din tayong terror management theory na handbook, which means hindi ito small time na theory. Para makabuo ka ng handbook sa isang theory, ibig sabihin sobrang daming studies ang nagawa dyan, kinompile-compile lahat yan, kaya nakabuo ng handbook. So this is a very busy area of research, no? So to make the long story short, in essence, anong sinasabi ng terror management theory? That the idea of death affects our thinking patterns, our emotions, and our actions. Although alam natin mga tao na mamamatay naman tayo, parte ng education natin yan bilang mga tao that one day we will die, hindi tayo mga immortal. Yung idea of death, hindi natin napapansin, merong epekto yan sa atin in different psychological levels. Yun na nga, sinabi na nga dito, such as the way we think, what we feel, and the things that we do. To illustrate this claim by this theory, merong ginawang isang study na nagre-reflect ng terror management theory. Ito yung APA citation dito. Basahin nyo na lang if you want to read the entire study. Pero basically, ang sinasabi lang ng study, very interesting, no? Yung mga participants dito, they were primed, they were controlled to believe na meron na lang silang 6 months to live. Yun yung unang phase ng study. So, how did they do that? Basahin nyo yung entirety of the study, but they were primed, they were programmed na yung buhay nila 6 months na lang. After 6 months, mamamatay na sila. Okay? And then, in another condition, same participants, kinondisyon naman sila na yung buhay nila 1 week na lang. Mas iniklian. Kanina 6 months, ngayon 1 week. 1 week na lang bago sila mamatay. So basically, ang gustong malaman ng mga authors dito is merong bang effect yun in the way they would be prioritizing their goals in life given those remaining times. 6 months versus 1 week. Magbabago ba yung contents ng kanilang bucket list? Kasi pinagawan sila ng bucket list eh. Depende kung iniisip ba nila 6 months na lang yung buhay nila versus 1 week. Now, to make the long story short, ang finding, magbabago yung goals. Magbabago yung laman ng bucket list. Depende kung naniniwala ka na yung buhay mo 6 months na lang versus 1 week na lang. Okay? So, basically, ang moral ng study, ang moral lesson dito, the idea of death affects different psychological mechanisms that we have. Like in this study, the way we define our goals, what we prioritize. Nagigets nyo? Yun yung sinasabi ng terror management theory, that death is not just a concept that we know will happen, it affects us in different psychological levels. Ngayon, dyan nanggaling yung concept nating mortality salience. Okay? The frequency, the degree to which lagi mong iniisip that anytime pwede kang mamatay. Now, ito yung tanong about mortality salience. Ano yung possible effects nito sa tao? Kapag mataas ang mortality salience mo, lagi mong iniisip na anytime pwede kang mawala, ano yung possible effects niyan? To be balanced here, dalawa ang posibleng effect niyan. May mga tao, kapag mataas ang mortality salience, nagkakaroon sila ng death anxiety. Siyempre, natatakot sila. And according to terror management theory, kapag tumataas yung death anxiety, because of the idea that one day we will die, nagkakaroon ng denial of death. Marami na namang studies dyan, but one of the key books na talagang pinopromote ng terror management theory is the book written by Ernest Becker. Basahin nyo to. Yan yung thesis ng libro niya na ang mga tao, kahit alam natin na mamamatay tayo, deep inside us, we deny that we are going to die by doing different things na akala natin walang kinalaman dyan. Such as, for example, binigay ito ni Ernest Becker, no? Yung pag-inom ng vitamins. Akala mo, yung pag-inom mo ng multivitamins, inosente lang yan. Diba? Wala. Gusto ko lang maging healthy. Kasi yung trabaho ko sa teaching, mahirap. Kailangan maraming nutrients yung katawan ko. Kaya ako umiinom ng vitamins. But, sabi ni Ernest Becker, yung pinaka-motivation mo, kung huhukayin mo yan, sa pinaka-malalim na level, iisa lang talaga ang tutumbukin yan. Kaya ka umiinom ng vitamins, bakit? Kasi takot kang mamatay. At naniniwala ka in the subconscious level na kapag umiinom ka ng vitamins, dumandami yung nutrients mo sa katawan na di-delay mo yung death mo. Naiiwasan mo kahit papano yung possibility of death. Alright? At marami pang ibang mga behaviors other than taking vitamins ang binigay si Ernest Becker na ang sinasabi niya, those behaviors are actually denials of our mortality para maiwasan natin yung death. Okay? So yun yung nasa negative side. But in this lecture, I would like to focus more on the positive effects of mortality salience. Gagawan ko na lang siguro ng separate lecture yung negative effects ng mortality salience. So focus lang tayo dito sa positive. And I want to focus on 3. So marami pa yan, hindi ko lang ma-discuss lahat kasi masyado tayong haba. So pumili lang ako ng 3 positive effects of mortality salience. Number 1, pro-social behaviors. Number 2, strengthening of relationships. And number 3, meaning in life. Isa-isahin natin yan. Ang number 1, ang mga taong open sa idea na malapit na silang mawala or anytime pwede silang mamatay, nagkakaroon sila ng pagtaas sa pro-social behaviors. One study that describes that phenomenon would be this one. You can just download this and read it for yourself. Ibig sabihin ng pro-social behaviors, tumutulong ka sa iba. Tumutulong ka sa mga taong nangangailangan. Pinaprioritize mo na tumaas ang quality ng buhay ng mga taong nakapaligid sa iyo, mga kapitbahay mo, mga kamag-anak mo, or even strangers that you encounter. Kapag open na open ka na anytime you can go, most likely, mataas din yung pro-social behaviors mo. And studies show in positive psychology, isa ito sa powerful predictors of mental health. So we can form this framework. Mataas ang mortality salience mo, palalakasin niya yung pro-social behaviors mo, kaya gumaganda yung mental health mo. Does that make sense? So that's one of the positive influence kapag mataas yung mortality salience mo. And I have 2 questions for you to answer. Pwedeng ilagay nyo dyan sa comment section if you like, no? Why do you think a person would be more pro-social kapag alam niyang anytime pwede siyang mamatay? How would that help the person? Or anong connect nun? Bakit pag alam mong konti lang ang oras mo sa mundo, mas mabait ka sa ibang tao? And the second question is, ikaw, sa tingin mo, you put yourself into that situation, kapag nalaman mo right now na konti na lang yung oras mo dito sa mundo, let's say hanggang next week ka na lang, do you think that would make you more pro-social? If yes, ilagay mo dyan sa baba sa comment section kung bakit. Anong meron sa 1 week na lang yung buhay mo at mas magiging mabait ka sa ibang mga tao? Then later on, i-explore natin yung mga sagot nyo dyan sa comment section. Number 2, ang mga taong alam nila that anytime pwede silang mamatay, nagkakaroon sila ng effort to strengthen their relationships. Like for instance, merong isang study, you can just Google search this and then download and then read it for yourself. Yung mga taong alam nilang malapit na silang mawala, inaayos nila yung mga relationships nila. Specifically in this study, yung mga relationships nila na sira na. Inaayos nila. Nagpapatawad sila. So yung mga taong merong atraso sa kanila or sila yung may atraso sa ibang tao, ang ginagawa nila dahil alam nilang konti na lang yung oras nila, inaayos nila. Nagkakapatawaran na sila, nagkakaroon ng sense of reconciliation. And again, going back to positive psychology, one of the most powerful predictors of mental health is yung tinatawag nating relatedness, based on the self-determination theory by Ryan and Deci. Kapag pinapalakas mo yung relationships mo with other people, nagpapatawad ka sa kanila, mas nag-i-increase yung time mo sa kanila, dumadami yung quality time mo with people that you love, gumaganda ang mental health. And again, ano ang magti-trigger kung bakit mo gagawin yan sa mga relationships mo? Bakit magpapatawad ka ng mga taong galit ka? Bakit hindi mo nasisingilin yung mga taong may utang sa'yo kapag alam mong malapit ka ng madeds? O, yun yung iisipin nyo. That's another question I want you to ask under number 2. Why do you think people, when they sense malapit na silang madeds, they end up forgiving people around them? Why do you think? Anong connect nun? And then, i-relate mo na naman yung sarili mo dyan. Ikaw, sa tingin mo, kung malaman mong hanggang next week na lang yung buhay mo, or hanggang bukas na lang yung buhay mo ng 3 o'clock p.m., do you think most likely patatawarin mo na yung mga tao na galit ka? Do you think most likely ikaw naman yung hihingi ng tawad sa mga taong may atraso ka? Would you do that? If your answer is yes, why? Ilagay nyo dyan sa comment section. And number 3, yung mga taong alam nila na malapit na silang madeds, mataas ang mortality salience, nagkakaroon sila ng meaning in life. Kung baga yung situation na yon, na-force sila to finally reflect about kung ano ba ang purpose nila sa buhay. Why am I here? Which is one of the most important question to be answered in the field of psychology. And we have an entire research literature on this. That those people who are so clear why they are here on earth, klarong-klaro sa kanila yung purpose nila, yung mission nila sa buhay, most likely, mas gumaganda yung mental health nila. Yan yung tinatawag nating meaning in life. At ano ang nagtitrigger dyan? Kapag alam mo na malapit ka ng madeds. Kapag mataas ang mortality salience mo, it triggers you to reflect on your meaning in life, kaya gumaganda yung mental health mo. So again, 2 questions under number 3. Why do you think that's the case? Bakit ang mga tao kapag mataas ang mortality salience, mas humahanap sila ng meaning in their life? And then another question is, ikaw ba most likely magiging ganyan? Malaman mo hanggang bukas na lang buhay mo o hanggang mamayang 9 p.m. na lang ang buhay mo. Do you think mas magre-reflect ka kung ano ba talaga yung mission mo sa buhay? Mas magre-reflect ka ba kung natupad mo ba yung mission mo sa buhay in the first place? By knowing that your time is nearing the end. So in summary, going back to that scripture, nakita na natin yung framework na to. Anong sabi ng scripture? Kapag ninanumber mo yung days mo, which is mortality salience, may mga magagandang mangyayari sa'yo, you gain a heart of wisdom. In the language of psychological research, ano yung mga magagandang outcomes na yan? Ano yung mga sense of wisdom na yan? Yung tatlong dinescribe natin. You become more pro-social, you tend to nurture your existing relationships, at nare-review mo kung ano yung meaning mo sa buhay. So, i-combine mo yung tatlong yan, based on positive psychology, lahat yan are big contributors to mental health. So, partially, na-confirm itong sinasabi ng psalmist dito, that if you number your days, pataasin mo yung mortality salience mo, most likely, marami kang mga positive psychological effects na pwedeng ma-experience, such as what I discussed in this lecture. But going back to that question kanina, bakit may mga tao, iba ang reaction sa mortality salience? May mga tao kapag naririnig nila yung idea of death, kapag nare-realize nila na anytime they can go, meron silang death anxiety, negative yung effect. May mga tao naman, yung mortality salience, positive yung effect sa kanila. What makes the difference? Kung baga, in research terms, meron bang moderating variable dyan? Sa tingin nyo, ano yung variable na magdedetermine kung ang tao negative or positive ang magiging reaction sa mortality salience? Ako, meron ako naiisip na isang variable na posibleng yan yung nagpapa-negative or positive sa isang tao in connection to mortality salience, and I think that's the way they see death. Paano mo ba ini-interpret yung death? Sa tingin ko, itong variable na to, very important yan para malaman mo kung magiging negative ba yung take ng tao sa mortality salience or positive. How do you see death? So magandang gawing research question ito. For those of you who are doing research there, pwede nyong i-designan ito ng study. Diba? And going back to that question, how is death interpreted? I can summarize that into 2. Okay? So, paano ba ini-interpret yung death? Yung unang interpretation dyan, that death is the end. Kapag namatay ka, magba-blackout na lang lahat, wala ka nang makikita, that's it for your existence. So, yung katawan mo, magiging lupa, yung lupa, babalik doon sa lupa. From dust to dust. And that's it for you. Okay? That's the first way of seeing death, total annihilation of the self. The other one would be that death is not the end, rather, it's just the beginning of eternity. So, more on religious tradition yan. Okay, so those are, I think, are the 2 ways of looking at death. Ang tanong ko sa inyo ngayon na nanonood, kayo ba? How do you see death? Kapag namatay ka ba, that's it for you? Or kapag namatay ka, marami pang mangyayari sa'yo after you die because you enter the afterlife? Ako sa tingin ko, depende kung saan ka dyan. Okay? That will determine whether in connection to mortality salience, ang mafe-feel mo ba is death anxiety or mas positive yung tingin mo sa idea that anytime pwede kang mamatay. But again, I am just theorizing here. Wala akong data to support that. So yung mga mahilig mag-research dyan, baka naman gusto nyong designan ng study para malaman natin kung tama ba yung hypothesis ko na the way you see death, whether it's the end or just the beginning, determines your reaction towards mortality salience. Would it be positive or negative? Balitaan nyo ako kung tama ba yung hypothesis ko na ito nga yung variable that makes the reaction different towards mortality salience. Alright? So, yun lang yung maikli nating lecture ngayon. Bahala na kayo mag-apply ng lecture na to in your everyday life. So, kayo ba, mas magiging open ba kayo sa idea that anytime you can die? That every moment that is passing by, you are nearing your death? How should that affect you? Would you increase your mortality salience or not? Lahat yan kayo nang bahala ang mag-decide on your own. Alright? So, yun lang yung maikli nating lecture on mortality salience. Sana marami kayong natutunan. If you have any questions, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Sir Howard here. Until the next lecture, God bless everyone. Bye-bye. Ingat kayong lahat.